The White House has rescinded the memo that put a freeze on federal aid. The White House press secretary tweeting that this is not a rescission of the federal funding freeze, rather a rescission of the memo. Why? Well, to end any confusion, that is the tweet right there that I referenced. It's to end any confusion created by the court's injunction. As we've been reporting, the memo to pause federal grants and loans was sent out Monday night. It led to a lot of confusion, and a federal judge temporarily blocked it. So what all this boils down to tonight is this memo is rescinded, but the president's executive orders remain. So that includes freezing foreign assistance and ending DEI initiatives. Those executive orders are more targeted than the trillions of dollars in aid that the memo froze. News Channel 8's Tanya Motorzitsky spoke with local nonprofits about the situation and what exactly these orders mean for them. She joins us now live with the details. Tanya.
Brenna, I spoke with nonprofits who help with women's health, and now they tell me they feel like they're being scrutinized because if you go on their website, now this is interesting, they have equity on their vision board when you go online, but again, this is part of the DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. So it kind of triggered the White House to look at them, and they worry about what the future looks like with this back and forth what's coming from the White House.
Notice was very surprising, shocking, confusing also, and it did cause a lot of panic and chaos for the nonprofit community.
The back and forth and unclear memo from the White House continues to confuse many nonprofits. As of last night, a federal judge blocked the funding freeze until February 3rd. The freeze is so the White House can review federal grant recipients to make sure they're following President Trump's executive orders like DEI. As of this afternoon, the White House said they're rescinding the memo. But then in a tweet just hours later, Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt saying the freeze is still in place, just the memo isn't. City Councilor Laura Bellis says this is worrisome because nearly 50% of the state's revenue come from federal grants.
About 43% of the state's revenue in 2022 was from federal grants. That was about $14.5 billion. It looks very similar today. And so that's a lot of money that our state relies on for critical infrastructure, services, programs.
When she's not a city councilor, she runs her nonprofit Take Control initiative that helps with birth control access. She says they get $10 million in federal grants to improve births in the community.
That we do not know if it's going to be delayed, if it's never going to happen.
For organizations like Amplify Youth Collective,
we do a lot of training for adults who support young people. We do a lot of work with young people. We support youth leaders. We support expectant and parenting students.
Executive Director Heather Duvall says not receiving grant funding would hurt the community.
And our entire system would be incredibly negatively impacted if funding freezes like this or even significant losses of funding would be a really terrible impact to our community.
Bellis pointed out she has the word equity in her vision tagline online, and so does Amplify, which may be a flag for the White House.
I'm not sure if they'll just try to revise some of the wording where they see equity and there's a different phrase that they might make for the grant so that the grant still moves forward, but we are seeing grants that focus specifically on women or have the term equity in them be on that scrutiny list.
With all the confusion, Duvall is encouraging organizations and the community to stick together.
Hearing different orders, different policies, different notices coming down does make us feel like we're on shifting sands a little bit. And so what we all have to do is stay connected.
Now, both organizations say that they are operating as normal, and the city of Tulsa says they are keeping an eye on the situation. And so are we here at News Channel 8. It's a very fluid situation. Continue to follow us for updates. Live, Tanya Motorzitsky, News Channel 8.